Hey, how's it going? It's Harris, founder of Open Rates Only. In this video, primarily, I'm going to talk about how we took an 8-figure brand from 5% to 40% email revenue in just 5 months with working with us. And again, I'm going to tell you the step-by-step strategy we use to do this. So if you're a CMO, marketing director, a CEO, go ahead, steal the strategy by all means. But let's get right into this. So first things first, month of July. And you're going to notice, why isn't there Klaviyo pictures back in July? Well, keep in mind, this brand was not on Shopify. They moved on to Shopify in late October. So all I have for you is Google Analytics pictures, but that will do. Google Analytics was reporting $76,000 coming, from Klaviyo in the month of July. Keep in mind, we were still on Klaviyo, but Klaviyo was not reporting anything. So we'd send campaigns, come back as zero, have to check Google Analytics. And again, Google Analytics and Klaviyo have different attribution systems. Google Analytics is last click. So that means they have to open the email and click and buy in that same process. And then you have Klaviyo, which is kind of post 5-day click. If they open the email Monday, buy Tuesday, it'll attribute to Klaviyo. Klaviyo, in my opinion, is king because, again, the only way someone can get into your email system is if you sign up through the pop-up. So, again, Klaviyo is king, in my opinion. Best way to track this, if you are interested in tracking Google Analytics and Klaviyo, which one's correct, what we like to do is kind of use the welcome flow code and hyperlink it. There's a way you can do this where you hyperlink the code to the cart in the welcome flow, and you can basically track the sales by discount in Shopify. So if the Shopify code and the welcome flow are aligned, then you know you have a match. Awesome, that was a mouthful, but just some quick knowledge for you if you didn't know. Here we go. So month of November, absolutely smashed it. 2.9 million, 41.53%, around 350K in SMS, 1.7 million in flows, 1.2 million in campaigns, just absolutely crushing. And before, they had 2 flows, a pop-up converting at 0.2%. That's right, there's a decimal there. And they sent around 3 to 4 emails a month. They had a deliverability and a segmentation problem. They used an external platform, didn't really hit the the open rates or click rates you need to be hitting. And they needed an email system quickly that converted customers. So after a quick audit in our recent work with a 7-figure brand, we used the exact same step-by-step strategy, and of course, we tailored it to this brand, but it absolutely dominated it. So again, 4-step process: optimize the pop-up, send 3 to 4 to 5 campaigns a week, and rewrite and redesign the flows. For this brand specifically, we set up all the pre-purchase flows. We couldn't set up the post-purchase flows, right? They weren't on Shopify. We had to only use pre-purchase flows and kind of go from there. And we started sending 3 campaigns a week. Started optimizing the pop-up, and again, we A/B tested the pop-up 20 plus times and took that 0.4% up to a 4 to 5 to 6% day over day. And the reason why this matters so much is because 15 times the people will now be flowing through all the flows. So I would recommend to you a good pop-up would be around 8 to 12% to even 14%. If you go look at that video where we added 80K MRR to the 7-figure brand, you'll notice we took them from 4% to 15%. Now, it is nuance across brands. When you get to a specific brand that doesn't have a percentage discount, this brand didn't, we were literally using free shipping. So free shipping isn't the best offer you can offer, but again, they weren't willing to touch into margin, so this is what you're going to get. This is starting when we joined, brought them from 0.4%, that's right, 55,000 views and only 200 submissions, up to around 3 and around 6 at peak. And then we had to turn off the pop-up for a specific number of time for some web developers. And of course, we brought it back on. You can see here, and for the month of November, hitting around 5%, which is absolutely killer. So this brand wasn't on Klaviyo to begin with, so you have to keep that in mind. We had to re-engage and transfer older profiles and ran into huge deliverability problems like I was telling you. These were our first couple of campaigns. 39% open rates, 28% open rates. At this point, when we sent these 2 campaigns, we knew this could turn into a problem. The average is around, 20, 30%. But if you're in the e-commerce open rate average, you are doing something wrong. You should be hitting 50, 60, even 70% average open rates just because of segmentation. So it's super easy. What we ended up doing is we just exported opens only on their other email marketing platform, took that list, brought it back to Klaviyo, and started sending to this engaged segment using our 7-day technique. Basically, in 7 days, more people started to receive the flow emails, more people started to receive the campaign emails. So instead of flying into the spam folder, they were going into the promotions and inbox folder, and that's exactly what you want. And after optimizing the pop-up and re-engaging all these lapsed customers who haven't been mailed in a while, we started to slowly but surely, start sending them day after day and fix their deliverability. And this is the month of December, actually. As you can see, on average, we generate around 15 to 40K per email. Awesome. So like I said, getting back on track from our second week of signing, we had all the pre-purchase flows up and running. Right, we couldn't set up all the post-purchase flows, but in the first week we had that up and running. We were A/B testing the pop-up, and by the first day we sent our campaign. This is the epitome of, I'm going to say the same things, product research and branding, going through every single review and truly understanding the customer avatar, especially for this brand. You must know what the problems are of who you're selling to, because that's what's going to convert somebody. When someone actually reads your emails, they will convert. Awesome. Again, each flow here has a touch of branded direct response, which is a fancy way of basically making someone take action now while leveraging their pain points. But it's not about, really diving on those pain points, but actually having a way for them, your product helps them. So you kind of want to reiterate that. Something to keep in mind here is, when it comes to your welcome flow, your abandoned checkout flow, you want to make sure that you are always talking about the pain points. That's how you get someone to really buy, is kind of reinstilling new beliefs in their, in their brain. And that's kind of how you have to do it. You have to rewire it, kind of, swipe the slate clean and then kind of reprogram their brains, to say the least. And again, it's important to do that because people have beliefs that you have to break, and that's how you make them make their first purchase, their second purchase, their third purchase. So, like I said, the customer for this brand will probably make one purchase. They are more high ticket. So our goal, make this customer buy again. So when we did move into Shopify, while also conquering new customer revenue, we did finally set up that post-purchase flow. It's absolutely crushing. I think around 1% of people who buy actually buy again. And that's very good for this brand. So that's amazing. Awesome. And then for other brands, obviously, it's around 50 to 60%. But this brand, that's killer. Cool. Like I said, when it comes to your post-purchase flow, you have to do a couple of things. You have to make sure the customer feels rewarded. And this is super important. The higher, revenue, the higher ticket the product may be, which is something to keep in mind here. Our post-purchase email that we send for every single brand does not have anything to do with selling, isn't upselling. A lot of people like to upsell instantly. But yes, the customer is the most hot then, but they're the most hot, ready to buy, but you have to make sure to pull back the buyer's remorse and make them feel excited for buying your product. And that's what we like to do. We actually send them off to the app and start getting them to, let's get social, start following our socials, get embraced and enveloped within the brand. That's what you want to do. You don't want to just instantly upsell them after they just purchased. It's kind of sleazy to do that, in my opinion. And what's surprising is this post-purchase flow, while it is only CTA links to the app and some branded direct response copy, it has around $35,000 that it generates every single month. So 1% of customers that buy will buy again, which is very good for this brand, especially because I don't have a CTA anywhere talking about buying. But for this brand specifically, it was a combination of flows, campaigns, and fixing their deliverability to be the main needle mover for this brand. And increasing that campaign cadence to 3 a week was a complete game changer. Send more emails is the number one tip I'd tell to any D2C brand. Each campaign generates 10 to 40K on average. You obviously want to do it in a way that educates the customer, is content heavy, but also doesn't feel too salesy. And that's kind of what we like to do. It's content-driven retention angle emails that are masked, because every email that you send is meant to be a hard sell. So like I said, they weren't on Shopify for a while, so segmentation wasn't possible. We were only kind of sending to that engage segment. So people who purchased were still receiving these emails. So we tried to pull back and only send around 3 a week, which was a good amount. Keeping unsubscribe rates surprisingly low, we grew the list from 20 to 65K in just the span of 5 months. Yes, this wasn't only through the pop-up. It was also using our re-engagement technique by shopping into 300,000 people, sampling it, and not destroying their deliverability. Keep in mind, this is not a bot list. If you buy a list, you will screw up your deliverability completely. This 300,000 people that they had is just a list they've had over the years. So again, we were slowly chopping into it, seeing who was still engaged, was interested, and we've now gotten to around $65,000. And month by month, the Google Analytics started to rise. We saw 200%, 300%, 400%. As you know, Google Analytics is reporting 1.1 million in the month of November. So the numbers just kept rising, but our campaign strategy coming into Black Friday, Cyber Monday completely blew it out the park, basically across all clients. But for this brand specifically, 70,000 through Google Analytics, and now in Klaviyo, 2.9 million. So imagine hiring an agency that actually delivers on results, especially on one of the most important days of the year. That's amazing. It's a dream come true. But with that being said, the reason why things performed so well is because we created flows hyper specific to Black Friday. So it's super important to do that. If you have a sale, a month of sales going on, you want to put that in your pop-up. You want to put that in your campaigns. You want to put that in your flows. Everything must work in tandem to truly create a hyper specific flow and insane growth to beat projections. Like I said, they all need to work in tandem. So flow revenue, smash it, but how do we dominate the campaign sector? Well, the holiday season means two things, gifts and gifts. Funny enough, I would not say that for this brand. People buy this product for themselves. It's very, very rare you would buy this as a gift because it is so expensive. But that's kind of what I would say. We created fun, captivating, LTV focus using creative angles. And what I'm mean by LTV focus is that we're providing content for people that purchase. We don't just kind of cut the people out who've purchased. We keep them in the loop once a week, but also 3 to 4 times a week we send to the non-purchasers. We want them to make their first purchase, and we do that through content, captivating, social proof, all sorts of angles. And again, every email was designed to sell, and you have to make sure you make the customer excited to open. That's super important. But you want to do it in a way that's not pushy, content focused, and doesn't feel repetitive or boring. Here are our averages: 61% open rates, 1% click rates, placement rate. Again, these are vanity metrics. Doesn't really matter. Only thing that does matter is revenue. The reason I put this in here is to say that line. But with that being said, 61% open rates during the most saturated time of the year is still impressive. Like I said, click rates, open rates, all these other rates you'll see are slightly fugazi, meaning they don't really matter as long as you are driving the revenue. We tend to send a lot of plain text, branded plain text emails that always result in lower clicks. So again, we sent an email just the other day where it got a 0.2% click rate. Guess how much money it generated? $40,000. So what this means with lower clicks, you get higher intent purchasers. So plain text emails can easily outperform a beautifully designed email. For this brand, we specifically A/B tested a beautifully designed welcome flow to a plain text welcome flow. And keep in mind, the copy is exactly the same, and the plain text outperformed it by 5x. So that's the difference between $2,000 a day and $10,000 a day. And again, using our subject line tactics and extremely creative email angles, $1.2 million through campaigns and $1.7 million through flows. Like I said, a combination of multiple angles, writing copy that converts, having designs that are captivating, and just creating emails that are fun. I keep reiterating that because it is so important to have that within your brand. If you don't have it, the customer won't open your email and they won't be excited to open your email. And again, along with the killer email strategy, your D2C brand can be generating 30% of your email revenue and maybe even 40%. It is not going to be easy by all means, but you won't actually have to lift a finger. We do all the dirty work for you. You don't have to do anything. All you do is hop in our Trello and get full access to our designer, copywriter, strategist, account manager, and see exactly what's going on. You work one-on-one with me at all times, and I'm not going to just throw you to somebody else, but rather you get one-on-one access to me all the time. So again, $0 to $2.9 million a month. Imagine if you can actually focus on your higher leverage tasks other than thinking about email and SMS. Is my in-house team really crushing it? Probably not. Having an in-house team, there's a lot of negatives. In my opinion, there's a couple of things here. What exactly are they doing other than email? They have to be doing something else. Email does not require all of their time. We're a team and we're managing multiple brands. I think it's a little bit interesting how one person is only managing your email and SMS program. Again, over the course of 5 months of working with us, that's what you'll get. If you work with us for 5 months, you'll be with us forever, and we'll have an insane case study for you, and you'll be our next case study. And that's the epitome of testing, understanding the customer avatar and being able to work in different niches. And that kind of goes back to the in-house thing, is have they worked in different niches? Because again, we have the experience of multiple Black Fridays, multiple sales days, the best sales strategies, the best drop strategies, the best email cadences, the best things to send, the best campaign calendar, true email strategists that understand your niche, understand the customer avatar, and that's what you'll get. We aren't your usual email agency that kind of sets and forgets. We're always testing and seeing what works. So my thing to you is email does not have to be hard. That's why we made it easy. If that sounds like something you want to work with, book a call below. We can have a chat. Thank you so much. See ya.